Hey everyone, I do apologize for chapters 11, 12, and 13. Excuse me, me and my family are on vacation, and I recorded them before we left for vacation. And when I went to upload them, the files didn't save for whatever reason. So I am sincerely sorry that look at my background. I'm usually at my home office, but again, I'm in a hotel room. So again, I sincerely apologize for chapters 11, 12, and 13. Again, they were completed before I left. I went to upload them, and then for some other reason, the files didn't change. So I'm having to kind of re-record them here in my hotel room while me and my family are on vacation this week. But again, really important information. And with the final exam next week, I wanted to make sure that you had the most updated information. So for chapter 11, there's just a couple of things that I want you to know for chapter 11 about grievance and disciplinary procedures. In the first couple of pages of chapter 11, there's a thing called steps in a grievance, and there's 5 steps. So make sure you review what those 5 steps are. Again, I'm not going to ask you on an exam, okay, take me through each of the 5 steps, or what does each step represent? But again, I think it's important for you to know how a grievance moves through the process, essentially. So make sure that you read up on that. The second thing that I want you to know for this chapter is all about employee misconduct. And your book lists, maybe 15 to 20 different things that would constitute employee misconduct. And whenever I deal with labor relations and I deal with grievances, with misconduct usually, these are the types of things that tend to be, that we can, discipline employees for, essentially. Physical contact of people, fighting, things along those lines, being extremely rude to a guest, and again, your book, lists, quite a few examples. And again, on an exam, I might ask you something like, if this was, would you consider this, a gross misconduct, and, and how would you proceed from there, essentially? So again, the list could literally be infinity, so I don't expect you to memorize each one of those, but again, have a good idea of what constitute employee misconduct and why, management would be inclined to pursue these, and then, what steps can the union take to kind of try to mitigate that against, potential dismissal. And that kind of leads into the third and final topic that I want to discuss for chapter 11, and that's progressive discipline. So this is an idea that you actually see even in a lot of non-union environments. In the non-union environments that I've worked in, we always use progressive discipline. And I'd be willing to bet in your organization or whenever you get it out into the working world, you're going to find that most companies have progressive discipline, where, you basically, it's a step process. So you get a written warning, and then you get a second written warning, and then a final warning before termination. Most for more minor offenses, like being late or, things along those lines, those shouldn't be necessarily immediate dismissal. So companies and unions really kind of, come up with the idea originally was that step process. You have a first written warning, and then a second written warning, then maybe a final warning. So again, it's a lot of it is usually done for legal purposes. It protects the company, from saying that we didn't just fire somebody for no reason. They were aware of their issues, and we tried to help them correct it. But it's also protection for the employee too, so they can't just be arbitrarily terminated, which is why unions are big on progressive discipline. So make sure you read up on that progressive discipline aspect, because again, I think that's very, very important, especially for the final exam. So again, just chapter 11 wasn't very long, just a couple key things that I want you to take away of. And again, I get so sorry for being, in a hotel room, but again, I'm about to record chapters 12 and 13 for you so that you'll have everything ready to go for the final exam. Thanks, everyone.